Hey there! If you don't know me yet, my name is Lenard Laca, but you can call me Jello. I talk about my experiences in my classes in the LSU. And in this term specifically, I'm taking up GELITPH, and I would like to share my insights and reflections on the materials that we went over this term as they have given me a lot of life lessons. In our first module paper, we talked about tradition and subversion, and we viewed materials such as El Arcangel o Dilim, wherein this fictional short film was able to make me realize that fiction can be fiction can be a mirror of our realities. Like inside this false reality created by the author, there are actually a bunch of whole realities that are happening in our real world. For example, at the start of El Arcangel, they show a squatter's area behind the tall and beautiful buildings. This showcases the great divide among classes in our society in real life. Meanwhile, Hospicio made me realize that fiction can even bend the truths that we want to express. This is seen in the first part of the trailer for Hospicio, where she has a desire to see her sister, but this is twisted by the administrators of the hospital. The things that she sees beneath her eyes are warped by the people in the hospital. And this depicts reality in life. I realize that in life, there will be situations where people will really bend the truth that we experience, and no matter how hard we try to explain what is reality, there will be no way to convince them that what happened with us is real. Lastly, for Module 1, I want to talk about keeping time, as this fiction was able to show that even fiction can show human experiences when we go through big changes in our life. This is seen with how Mike was able to see his old self and still remember the painful words and experiences that he went through before losing weight. This made me realize that words can make a big impact in our life. Even though it's in the past, it can still remain painful in our hearts. So before we say anything, we should really be careful, and at the end of the day, regardless of how one looks, we should always be kind in giving words out to them. Now with Module 2 called Nation and Beyond, I want to talk about a documentary by BBC called Pagpag. This documentary shows the realities that the privileged people are unaware of. This documentary was showing people who are risking their lives eating pagpag, ironically as a way to live. After watching this documentary, I became more conscious of my eating habits, ensuring that I have no waste. But if I do have extra, I try to share it with the people in need or the people with me. On Alex Tizon's article entitled My Family Slave, I realized that articles are able to resonate, mourn, and pity. Articles don't contain sounds and voiceovers, but they can deliver honesty and reveal one's true message through their choice of words. I can say this because in the story, it was revealed that one's innocence does not end in school nor the family, but in the learning situations. I saw this in how the article described his realization on Lola and how she was deprived of better living conditions. I became more sensitive of my achievements onto others, and I've continuously reminded myself of the kindness that should be given to anyone in society, regardless of their status. The dangers of a single story was able to make me realize that talks like this can be really life changing. The talk opens up about how listening is hard and how we fall into the trap of the single story day by day. Watching the video made me realize that listening to one side of the story is not really enough to know the entire truth about something. And that we should be listening to other people and other sides, and although it might be confusing, it will help us to create better judgment. In Module 3 called Body and Desires, I was able to view this advertisement by Bench called How Long Can You Keep a Secret? In this advertisement, I was able to realize that advertisements can be used to break stereotypes. A boy was seen using a girl's scent in this advertisement, and this boy in particular has interest in boys as well. However, he has not yet come out to his family. His family eventually gets a hint of it, and although he has not yet come out, his family embraces his sexuality. Home for the Golden Gaze made me realize that vlogs can be an avenue for people to express themselves and for them to talk about their life experiences. This was seen in Home for the Golden Gaze, where they talk about their rough past and their present. Moreover, Home for the Golden Gaze made me realize that even through videos, you can provide safe spaces for those that have not yet come out or for those that are being oppressed. The song Sirena by Glock 9 and Evidancel made me realize that songs are able to depict reality, and it opens the idea that everyone should be treated fairly despite their gender. As in the song, it talks about the real life experiences of those who get deprived of respect and experiences because of their gender. It made me realize that as a person who has been educated about the LGBT community, is that I should encourage others to treat them more fairly and in fact equally. And we should help to empower them to be more confident in their own skin. The mystery box game made me realize that one wrong decision can set me back a few steps, like how we were deducted points whenever we get the wrong answer. It made me more careful and it made me really analyze my risks before making a proper decision. However, more importantly though is that my decision affects others as well. I realized na just with my one mistake, there will be tons of others that will be deducted with points as well. So it made me realize that I should take into consideration those around me before also making a decision. It also taught me to give way to others when I don't know what to do in a certain situation. For example, when I don't know what to answer, I might as well just give the chance for my other group mates to answer, so that we may still have better chances of winning since I don't know the answer. But that just doesn't mean that you can just slack off. You can still try when you can. In our personas activity, I was able to develop a methodological way of solving my problems. Similar to how we looked into personas of songs in our activity, I was able to use this method. For example, I'd look into the general description first of my problem before really looking into the situation of the conflict. But instead of determining if the conflict was resolved or not, I look into ways of fixing this issue that I have. Coming to this course, I was thinking that GELITPH was just going to be analyzing readings for what they are. And I guess this was true for a couple of weeks, but until we reached our first module paper, that's when I started to realize that it's going to be much more deeper than that. By breaking down our materials in GELITPH, I was able to become a more analytical person. And I was able to bring this to my studies by being more analytical, as I said, and by repeating my lectures until I would fully get them, as this is what I would do in the materials provided in GELITPH. As for the outside world, I was able to become more aware of the situations surrounding me. GELITPH, through the readings, was able to show me the harsh realities that we face. But not only that, it has urged me as well to fight for it and to fight specifically for what is right. Lastly though, GELITPH made me realize that not everyone is going to have the same ideas and thoughts as me. And in some situations, no one is even going to be right or wrong. This is why it's a good trait to become a good listener to others in any situation in life. Those are all my insights throughout this term from GELITPH. I hope you were also able to learn from my experiences, and That's it for me. Again, I'm John Leonard Laca. But you can call me Jello from GELITPH Y03. Goodbye. Thanks for listening.